Hello, Steve White, Steve Arts89. Well, I hear some people talking about Alien Earth, that it's contradicting canon and timelines and eras and everything, and I'm like, oh god, here we go again. What's happening? And I had a little bit of a look at the Alien timeline. Now, Prometheus happens in 2093. Alien Covenant, 2104. Alien Earth, 2120. And Alien, 2122. So there's 2 years after the events of Alien. So apparently the alien was discovered or encountered on Earth 2 years before the film, but they're all the way out in the middle of space and they've been in hypersleep or whatever. So the idea that they don't know what's happened, that they haven't been informed on what happened on Earth, and that Weyland Yutani, or whatever the name of the company is, wouldn't tell them what's happening, or they wouldn't know, isn't that implausible? So I don't think it affects how the Alien film happens. We know by the second film they obviously know all about the aliens, and they're trying to use them, catch them and use them for weapons and so forth. But I don't think it affects, but it would have been maybe easier if they had picked the year a bit more carefully, maybe after the events of Alien, so they can do anything and not contradict what happens in Alien. But I think they're close enough in era and the ship is far enough out in space that you can pretty much do anything on Earth and get away with them not knowing about it. But yeah, so then Alien Romulus happens 20 years later in 2142. Aliens in 2179. Okay, so I never realised that was like the same year, but centuries later, because it's, obviously a short period later, I think. Then Alien 3 happened in the same year, of course, and then 2381 was Alien Resurrection, so they moved like over 100 years. So yeah, I'm not sure if that's an issue. I think that obviously they thought about this and thought, no, there's ways to explain this, and sometimes people's headcanon, you can get away with it and it kind of works, and as long as nothing directly contradicts anything, it's okay. Unlike situations like Star Trek Discovery and Strange New Worlds, where they're literally showing eras that exist and people we know and things we know to have happened a certain way, totally different than just say, no, that works, or that's just how it is, and you're just, they gaslight you that somehow, you just don't remember how things happened, even though you lived through it and watched it. So I don't know if Alien fans are just trying to get clicks by trying to stir up the same sort of drama that Star Trek fans and Star Wars fans have had in recent years, but we really do have issues with canon eras and universes and timelines. I don't really think Alien is having that problem. I think people are just making a mountain out of a molehill just to get some press, to get some attention, to get some clicks. But I did worry about it when I first heard it. I'm like, oh no, because I thought about it. I thought, well, if we encountered aliens on Earth, doesn't that affect Alien? I'm like, well, it must happen after the events of Alien. I'm like, oh no, it actually is before. But considering where the ship is and everything, it's plausible that all that could happen. They don't know about it. And the other argument is that the company did know about it, and they were, they sort of knew what they'd discovered or what they were going to discover, or set them up, sort of thing. And I have to go back and watch the film because I can't remember the specifics of how that played over and how the actual company was involved. And I don't know why I can't remember that. I've seen the films 100 times. I should remember, but I don't. But I'm going to go. Feel free to share, like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you think of the timeline of Alien. Should they have just kept it safe and had all this happen after the first film? Because anything can happen between the first and second films, so it doesn't really matter. But it is a little bit tricky to have the alien encountered before the events, because it sort of undermines the first film in a way, especially if you watch them now in continuity and the first film isn't first anymore. But other people are arguing that Alien doesn't really work anymore anyway, because now we know what the alien is. It's not really alien anymore, so it doesn't really scare people like it used to. And at least the new Alien Earth, they had different aliens, and they were sort of playing on that as well. So it's all kind of interesting, but I'm going to go.